Hello and welcome to This is Diana. This is Diana.com. I am here today to share with you some information about my newest project, which is actually not new at all. I've been working on this for over 11, 12 to 15 years. And it is part of actually everything else that I do. The Design Your Life with Beauty, which the information is in the website, so you want to take a peek at it. And it is a sub-show called I Sense Rude People. And it's actually originally based on a book that I had been writing years ago called I'm a Psychic Empath and I Sense Rude People. Hence, I Sense Rude People title. So in this particular thing, it's all about bringing beauty into your life, but combating this crazy epidemic of rudeness that seems to be taking over our lives. It has since the beginning of humanity, actually. So what can we do about it? We can talk about it before it gets too crazy, because it's already too crazy. So this project about rudeness is, number one, about identifying what rudeness is, preventing it whenever possible and necessary, and if it is suitable, addressing those responsible for being rude to the point where we can have overall peace and harmony that are disrupted with rude behavior. And one important caveat or warning is that I am no way suggesting that you confront a person or a group of people in a way that is going to put you or anyone else in danger of being abused or violence or the aggressiveness increasing. Not at all. This is all about using common sense manners and common sense in general, and most especially your gut instinct. But you have to think about with this whole rudeness and manners and nastiness. Have you ever noticed that throughout your own personal history, throughout humanity, life, existence, and the advent of modern technologies, the reach of social media, we still have the same old problems. And that is anything from broken hearts, jealousy, strange viruses, the common cold. We're humans, and we are most places today, we're in an overcrowded world. Just a lot of people and in a small amount of space. Chances are we're going to get in each other's way. This is why throughout our lives and throughout our history, we have rules, regulations, guidelines, laws. The whole purpose is to maintain and create law and order. Ideally, peace and harmony. That's really what we would like. But at minimum, law and order. Etiquette, protocol, and manners have been discussed throughout our known history. But sometimes we forget. We stop using courtesy. We stop using manners. We stop saying thank you and excuse me and I'm sorry. And the basics, hygiene, for crying out loud. Simple things that should be easy to do, a natural thing to do, we forget. And because of that, sometimes it takes a disaster or a tragedy, either a personal trauma or a group tragedy, for us to make a significant change to better our lives. And in fact, it may take a couple of traumatic events for us to truly awaken to compassion, common sense, be awakened to ourselves, care for ourselves better, and for each other, for our planet, for animals, for other people. Sometimes we need to say no to protect ourselves as well, to create boundaries when it is necessary. It isn't always necessary, but sometimes it is, because people have to take advantage of other people. And to use common sense manners is the key, protecting yourself and creating that harmony and that balance and have people respect you. And I wrote this book a long time ago that was going to be published sort of at the same time as my memoir, which is Oddball. That one is out on Amazon, and also you can get it by contacting me at thisisdiana.com. And also my first book, which is You're Not Crazy, It's Paranormal. I also allude to the whole issue of common sense manners. But I decided to, instead of writing a book about manners. It is written, by the way. The manuscript is there. I decided to create a podcast instead. Share it with you this way. Like that, it's easier for us to talk about it. You can share your comments. You can ask questions. You can even share your experiences. And it's easier for us to share it this way with our current technology. And sometimes a lot more fun too, because it's more interactive. So in this sense, I can use the podcast. I can use my prominent ability as an empath and my background as a psychology and behavior researcher, and also my work in interior design to help ourselves, you, me, the world, bring beauty in and reduce stress, decrease moments of tension and moments of high alert, and create a more harmonious life. And I'm going to say the word harmony and harmonious a million times, because I don't think we just have enough of that right now. So in my background, I've seen thousands of people, either as a counselor or as an intuitive empath, or doing my radio broadcast and interviewing people, that all of us, we tend to do things that are a range of rudeness. It could be just a little silly rudeness that occurs once in a while, or something that's chronic and just chronic, plain old mean rudeness and disrespect. There's a whole range. I even created a scale that I can share with you at any time, should you want to see it, and it's available on the website as well. That just shows you kind of the range. And the little silly, once in a while faux pas are easily corrected. We're human, it happens, and it's going to happen. And we have to forgive ourselves and others for that. Not a problem. The ones that are more extreme or somewhere in between, we have to train ourselves to be more mindful, be more careful, be more aware, and just overall use our instincts and our minds, our brains, to take care of ourselves and each other, and prevent this rudeness from turning into things that are violent, like rage incidents that occur too often because somebody does something that slighted us, or we perceive that slighted us. That's some of the effects that rude behavior, or what we perceive as rude behavior, can have. And lack of manners, lack of courtesy, lack of common sense manners insidiously starts to break down the fabric of our physical, mental, spiritual society. It just starts breaking it down until chaos and insanity takes over and we have disasters. And again, I emphasize there's a broad range of what rude can be. Anything from innocent absent-mindedness, where you let the door go and don't hold it for someone, to again, extremely rude, unhealthy, cruel, and purposeful behavior that can lead to all kinds of disasters. I'm sure you can relate to some of these. I mean, we're human. There are different things and experiences that we all have. I want you to share with me what things that are bothering you, or things that you think that you want to address, and we can talk about these things and find solutions or creative ways of dealing with them, because you can't always confront them head on. Sometimes you have to know when to hold them, and you kind of have to know when to fold them, and walk away from a situation and just really let it go and look at the big picture. And take it from somebody who was raised in the South Bronx in the 70s, where everything was crazy and wild and it was terrifying. I had to learn how to be polite, sometimes too polite. That's when I had to learn boundaries. And then that's when I had to learn boundaries, balance between boundaries and being polite. So I didn't have the traditional Emily Post etiquette, but I did have common sense etiquette, and I do believe that Emily Post etiquette most certainly has a place in our culture, and we should all be aware of it. And it's something I want to share with you, something I want you to share with me and with others. Boundaries. Things to do, creative strategies, when to deal with it. And again, in today's society, when we're so busy and we're so preoccupied and sometimes just distracted, we tend to, build up all kinds of emotions inside of us and get careless, get cranky, get angry. And some people really just turn chronically rude and nasty. And we have to do something about that before it escalates to the point of harm. So, again, This is what we're going to talk about in future podcasts. I'm talking about anything from what we think the reasons are for rudeness, the types of rudeness, the extreme levels of rudeness, the funny things that we can find in it, because there has to be humor. Humor is a way of really calming things down. And I really want to, in my work, whether it's an empath or a designer, and everything that I do, is to create beauty, to bring it in, to balance out stress, chronic pain, trauma, conditions that are stressful and tense, and create harmony, create balance, create the life we were supposed to live, of creative potential. And this is what this particular sub-show under This is Diana, Design Your Life with Beauty, is all about. So we're going to have a lot of fun talking about this, and we're also going to do a lot of serious thinking. And we're going to discuss, I'm going to give you examples, real life examples. It could be yours or my own, or stuff that I've observed and have had discussed with clients and other people. And I call those, oh no you didn't moments. Like, oh no you didn't. And that's kind of a way of bringing levity into the situation when appropriate. Sometimes humor isn't appropriate and you have to take it very seriously, but sometimes it could really help. So those oh no you didn't examples are going to be good ways for us to bring up situations in everyday life that are sometimes just unbelievable, things that we do as humans. When I give examples of things that I've experienced or observed personally, and I do a description of the situation, and I describe somebody's looks or appearance or a location or height or anything, is not to be derogatory of that situation and that description. Please know, as somebody who is from 19 parts of the world according to my DNA, I respect all cultures, religions. I just believe very strongly that we should respect each other. Not one is better or higher than the other. So if I describe something of a Latin woman or a woman that happens to be slightly overweight, it just happens to be something that is relevant to that particular story. It's not to say anything derogatory about a Hispanic person, African American person, a tall person or short person, a particular restaurant, a particular venue. None of that. It is simply to describe that particular instance, and it might be an instance that you can relate to, a situation that you can relate to, like standing on line that you don't want to do, or standing in line, depending if you're from California or New York. So that's why I will be describing certain things, and I will be repeating this so you know that I in no way, shape, or form have a desire or I'm in a position to insult anyone or any group because of their creed, age, range, ethnicity, anything of the sort, the generation X, Y, Z, whatever it is. So with that said, I want to invite you again to check my website so we can discuss. You can send your emails, you can send your questions, your comments, anything you want to discuss, any particular subgenre of manners or rudeness. And I'm be so excited to bring it part of the show, because it is for us to share together. The website again is thisisdiana.com, just like it sounds, thisisdiana.com, and that is sort of the gateway to everything else. You'll be able to see the shows. They'll be archived after they're recorded. You can see everything else you need to know about. You're interested about the interior design, or you're interested in designs I create with pillows, or if you're interested in my empath abilities and consultations, it's all going to be there. So please check the website. Let me know what you think. And I am so looking forward to us sharing together rudeness and creating manners, common sense manners together. For thisisdiana.com, Design Your Life with Beauty. Thank you for joining me, and I will see and hear you and be with you very soon.